Macht of El Dorado, or Macht the Golden, depending on your translation, is the strongest Sage of Destruction out of the 7. The reason for Macht's overwhelming power is the special curse that he was granted as his magic of choice. Macht's signature magic is known as Diagolds, a spell to turn all creation into gold. Diagolds does just as it says, allows Macht the incomprehensible ability to turn any and all things he deems necessary into gold. Although Macht is sometimes shown using direct contact to impart this curse, this action is not at all necessary, as even remote and from great distance, Macht is able to turn whatever he desires to gold, whether it be instantaneous or slow and torturous. He has complete control over the entire process. The great mage Ziria even theorizes even if he wanted to, Macht could probably snap the entire region of the northern plateau into gold on a whim. The reason he doesn't is the same reason, despite being all-powerful, Macht remains a conflicted individual, blessed with magic that is almost unbeatable, some would say. Macht, despite being a demon, develops a boredom around war and violence. He grows jaded to fighting because, at the end of the day, it's all pointless to him. With Diagolds, Macht can end any opponent at any time without fail, making conflict as a whole a mundane affair. Macht doesn't resent his magic type though. And actually, Macht draws out most of his fights not because it would be boring to win immediately, but because of the great sense of pride he feels using Diagolds, not wanting to waste it on trivial fodder that isn't even worth his time. Ultimately, Macht's inner conflict drives him to a pursuit of trying to understand the humans he's been slaughtering for centuries, perhaps finding the answer to their endless struggle and beginning an era of peace. However, because of Macht's demonic nature, and realistically wanting quote-unquote coexistence with humans for selfish reasons, the demon never truly was able to find the answer he sought. Trying unrelated experiments like pitting 2 human children in a fight to the death to try and understand the emotions they'd be going through, to eventually coming upon a political leader named Gluck, who Macht, with intentions of coexistence, would befriend, slowly integrating himself into Gluck's political cabinet and human society to truly immerse himself in the lifestyle. During this time, Macht takes on a human apprentice in the mage Denkin and fosters a strong mentor-student relationship with the boy, imparting his knowledge of magic and skill onto the child, in hopes one day he may have a strong challenge. Macht also helps villagers with everyday tasks and even goes as far as to defend towns from the Demon King's army. Being a human's assistant and a traitor to his entire species meant nothing in the chances Macht could one day come to truly understand humanity. At the end of his experiment, Macht's twisted definition of understanding reared its head, planning to indulge himself into the human emotion of guilt by turning the entire town that took him in and his close friend Gluck that he began this journey with to gold, hoping that after truly living the human experience, if it was all taken away from him, Macht would finally see things from a human perspective. It failed, proving that demons truly are unable to coexist or ever empathize with humanity, as looking at the site of what he once called home, Macht felt nothing. And what made this worse is that no matter how many lives were lost over what ended up being a pointless experiment, Macht is unable to reverse any of it. Despite having such omnipotent power like turning all of creation to gold, because Macht is a demon and therefore unable to truly visualize what returning a human body back to normal would be, Diagolds is a spell that can never be reversed. The tragedy of Macht is a tale of a demon who truly, really believed they could become one with humans, even if that meant sacrificing all he thought he held dear. Even thinking of committing such a crime is monstrous in and of itself, and following protocol, no matter how much a demon claims to be opposed to violence, it usually almost always just means they are terrifyingly powerful. Besides Diagolds, and truly, honestly, having no need to be, Macht is just as powerful of a warrior as he is a mage. being able to convert the coat he wears into a golden blade or shield. Macht is a proficient swordsman and soldier, even able to shatter a first-class mage's defense barriers with his sword swings. It appears his strongest weapon is the trident he's able to craft out of the gold particles he creates, as this is Macht's tool of choice when going all out in a fight against his student Denkin. It appears when taking a fight seriously and Diagold's is unusable, Macht is still able to use his control of gold to his advantage. By plunging his golden trident into the ground, he can shapeshift all of the debris into gold, and any gold Macht creates is indestructible, making it a great projectile attack. And by piling on multiple pieces, Macht can create giant streams of gold like tendrils that can whip and harm enemies from afar. Macht is able to move simultaneously with this flurry storm of gold, able to combo his opponent while overwhelming them with the torrent of waves. Macht, thanks to his acquaintanceship with Zolitaire, a higher ranked demon who specializes in researching human magic, Macht has a fundamental understanding of how human mages battle. This is not only why Macht was able to teach Denkin the fundamentals of human magic, but it's also how Macht is able to create defensive barriers of his own, similar to other human mages. Another impressive feat from Macht is his long range of mana detection, supposedly extending entirely throughout the Golden Lands of the Northern Plateau. Whether this is because Macht is able to sense all the areas in which his curse has taken effect, it does immediately let him know any and all who step into his territory, immediately pulling up on Lernan and Edel only a couple of moments after they entered his domain. On the flip side, because of the golden curse, Macht is also impossible to detect. Whether this is because his golden magic doesn't give off mana, or his curse actually just makes it seem like Macht is everywhere all at once, this is another trait that makes Macht a scary threat in battle. Macht is able to easily decimate high-tier first-class mages like Lernan, and even threaten stronger forces of nature like frieren. Although Zolitaire, a higher-ranked demon, claims, despite frieren not believing so, the elf should be able to kill Macht. The great mage Cyrie, another elf, is quickly able to get one over on Macht in their short fight as well, proving that although Macht is one of the strongest of his kind, any mage who can counter the Diagold spell can put him up against a corner.